Okay, I want to go over a quick case study for a medical simulation vendor that we support, where we are providing financing to an education group that owns 3 colleges across 5 campuses. And they have a specialty in medical, technical, kind of a technical college focus, and they're launching their first RN program. I'm going to go over 3 key points in this case study. If even one of these points was accomplished in a single transaction or with a single customer, it would be a huge win. There were 3 major wins for the simulation vendor, the lender, and of course the customer. And I want to go over those, kind of tell you the story real quick, and then highlight those 3 big takeaways. So the project was about $270,000 initially in simulation equipment and software that would be put into this new simulation lab as the part of this new RN nursing program that they're launching at their primary campus. We were able to secure that approval and provide terms that were attractive to the customer. There was a very tight deadline because the inspector for the final, kind of putting the final stamp of approval on the RN program, they had about a 2-month window. That was to get the financing approved, get the order placed, and get everything delivered, installed, training completed. And I'll go ahead and jump ahead and let you know that that was accomplished by us and the vendor. So the first thing we had to do was get the terms right, get the approval, get the documentation completed. We were able to expedite that by using DocuSign. The framework was entered into, so there can now be multiple future projects. We were also able to increase the deal size by about 25%, which benefited the customer because that was due to the warranty and support packages were extended to 5 years to match the term of the project. It was a 60-month lease package, fully covered for that full 5 years. So the deal increased up to about $340,000 was the amount that was funded. We were able to get the purchase order over to the vendor quickly, so we were able to accomplish that. And then speaking with the customer a little bit more about their future plans to add RN programs at these other locations, it looks like there may be possibly 4 more campuses that will eventually have this type of setup. So you're looking at upwards of an additional $1.3 million in equipment, software, and services provided by this vendor that will most likely be financed, and they'll be added as one-page schedules to that master agreement that's already been entered into. And we're already working on getting all that funding available, so it's immediately ready for when that customer wants to move forward on launching their next sim lab. So just want to recap those 3 big takeaways. We were able to get a quick approval, which enabled the vendor to meet that critical deadline of 2 months, which was pretty quick considering everything that had to be done in that amount of time. The second big takeaway was that the transaction size grew by about 25% because of the 5-year term, and there's a ton of value there for the customer, obviously, because everything's completely covered the full length of the term. It's completely coterminous. The third major takeaway is that we were able to establish both a credit file and the contract framework to make any future subsequent transactions really easy. And it helps the customer from a budgeting and forecasting perspective to know that that funding is immediately available if they decide to finance those additional simulation labs. So these are the 3 big takeaways: speed, increasing the deal size, and adding more value to the customer as a result, and as well as establishing credit for future business. I hope this was helpful.